linked hash map, our next topic. So linked hash map. What is exactly difference between the hash map and linked hash map? See, linked hash map is also not thread safe. Okay. Uh, you know, um, and the difference between the hash map and linked hash map is that, like, if you want to, display the data based on some insertion order. Okay. So then you will be going for this linked hash map. Okay. So when it comes to the hash map, we have seen that in last video, we have seen that, like, the hash map is going to display the data in undetermined format. We can't think that, like, in which way it is going to display the data. Okay. So if you have a requirement of, like, displaying the data based on the insertion order, then you should go for the hash map. Okay. Fine. So the same characteristics what the hash map is taking, the same characteristics this linked hash map also taking. Okay. So it will take the key value pair. It will take the key value pair as a parameter. Okay. So it doesn't take link. Yeah, it is right. Okay. um okay. It will not take duplicate keys will not be taken. Duplicate keys. It will take duplicate values. Null insertion is not possible for keys. Null insertion is not possible for keys. Okay. But it's possible for values. Okay. And yeah, and it will be displaying the data. Linked hash map is displaying the data. It will be displaying the data in insertion order. Okay. So the constructors we have in hash map, linked hash map is similar. Like, linked hash map is having a default constructor. Okay. Which doesn't take any parameters. And we have one more constructor, linked hash map, which will be taking the capacity as a parameter. So if you want to create a collection with capacity, okay, then you have to use this linked hash map of capacity constructor. And we have a linked hash map which will be taking the collection as a parameter. So we'll be using these constructors to create an object of hash map. Okay, let's see a simple example on this linked hash map. And yeah, let's see a simple example on linked hash map. Okay, so I'll take a same example. So last time we have taken the custom example, right? So user we have added to a hash map collection. It was giving us, like, undetermined format of data, right? Let's see that. Let's use the same example, and, like, let's use a linked hash map over here instead of the hash map. Linked hash map. Okay. Linked hash map main. So first we have to create the user which we want to add. User1 equals to new user. Okay. So user1 dot set name. So I'll be setting the name. So I'll say this Joe root, and user1 dot set. I'll give the email ID joe at tng.com. Okay. User1 dot set address England. Okay. So let me create one more user. So now I'll be creating a one more user. I'll give the user object as user2. So I'll set the name for the user2, user2. I'll set the user name. I'll set Virat Kohli, Virat at king.com. And here we have India. Fine. So these are the two guys. So we want to add these two users to a collection called linked list. Sorry, not linked list, linked hasset. Not linked hasset, linked hash map. Okay, linked hash map. So linked hash map equals to new linked hash map. And so what this hash map is going to store? It is going to store the now yeah, I'll be taking the user email and as a key and the value as a user. Okay, so I'll say user name as a user okay, key as a string and the value as a user. Okay, so when I enter the key, you should get the enter user details. Okay, what linked hash map? Ah, that's what it is saying. Linked hash map. Okay, it has taken the wrong input actually. Okay, here I have given the hash map as the class name. So let me change the class name. Rename it to linked hash map client application. So now let me, that's what I was confused actually. I have given the class name as my class name as linked hash map and it's trying to use the same name. Linked hash map equals to linked hash map equals to new linked hash map. Fine. So this linked hash map is taking the key as a string and the value as a user. Okay, that's fine. So now what I'll do is I'll be adding the linked hash. I'll be adding some user details to the hash map. I'll be using a put method to add it. Put off. I'll be using the key as a email. So user one dot get user email ID as a key and you should pass user one for this. Okay. So linked hash map dot put method will be used to add the elements to the collection. User two dot get email ID and we'll be giving the user two over here. Okay. So now let's use a SOT and print the data which is there in the hash map. So what would be the response? So let's check it. Let's run this linked hash map client application. Let's check the response. See, it is giving the response in insertion order. Like first, what we have inserted Joe root, and we have Joe root details, and the second user is Virat Kohli. Okay, so in whatever the order we have added in the same order, it is displaying the data, right? Okay, so before we have seen, so hasset is not displaying the data in whatever order we have added the elements. Now the linked hasset, it is showing the data in the order which we have added. Okay, so that's the main difference between these two. Okay, there is no much difference. Okay, that's all about this linked hash map. So let's see the next concept in the next video.